Participating in the UDL PLC was very beneficial. It was a great opportunity for professionals across the campus to come together and, in a safe and reflective environment, share about what we knew about UDL and what we wanted to learn.
It's really a wonderful thing to sit in a group of faculty from all different disciplines talking about what they do and how they're changing their practice.
I had been sort of bouncing ideas around in my classroom on my own without any structure and wondering if what I was doing was a little bit crazy, and going into a group and having people to talk to about it gave me inspiration for my ideas and helped me focus my attention on specific parts of the UDL process.
We believe already that it's super important to engage students immediately, and we know that there's a learner variability. We don't know what it is. We don't know much about our students usually that we're working with in any given class, but we know it's there. So having the tools that UDL principles and guidelines allows us to kind of capitalize on what we already do when we're teaching information literacy, but hopefully expand the choices for students and allow us to change up the various ways that we teach.
I would change the ways that students would interact with information and then also how they would assess themselves. An example of that, I guess, would be that for what used to be a lecture, I turned it into a multimedia book builder project where students would go and interact with what was previously just a handout. Now there were interesting pictures, videos, other things like that they could use.
We're trying to do much more formative assessment activities, make it much more of an active classroom, and I think all of that goes back to what we're learning about UDL.
In my own teaching, I started small with revising lessons that I had been teaching in a course, providing multiple means of representation through different ways that I would introduce concepts using more videos, and then a lot of opportunities for them to have choices in the way that they would show me how they understood the material.
I think what we've already seen, those of us who have participated and used some of what we're learning from the UDL principles and guidelines, we've already seen a boost in student engagement with information literacy.
At first, integrating UDL principles freaked my class out, but I started letting them choose how they wanted to reflect. So one person would stop by and see me every week, another person did a podcast, another one actually drew comics or showed me his scribble on lesson plans. So giving them the freedom to choose how they showed the content really made a difference in their engagement.
Most of my implementation of UDL has been in our Introduction to Special Education course. So I was very systematic about the way that I would be implementing UDL, and very explicit on when I was doing it and how and why. And I think my students really got that because I was explaining the benefit of using UDL and how I was providing options and reaching the variability in our classroom. And a lot of them reported that that was something that they really took away with them and were excited to try using it in their own classrooms.
It's not as scary as it seems to implement UDL. Take little baby steps at first. Something as simple as changing the way that you present one lesson. So adding a PowerPoint or using more visuals, or any little step you can take can help with introducing UDL, and then just branch out as you become more comfortable.
To take advantage of any opportunities that Towson OAI offers, this opportunity to be a part of the professional learning communities has been amazing, and we've learned so much from each other and from the experts that have been brought in for the various events, and from our resident experts, Dr. Berquist and others here on campus. So to take advantage of all of our local expertise.
Start small with one piece that you want to try to implement, and then take the time to reflect with a colleague on how it went and make those revisions. Because I think that the payback after you implement and see the benefits of the lecture and your students' learning is really powerful.